Today we dive into the world of blockchain oracles to understand Chainlink and the use of the Link token. So the simple answer to what is Chainlink is that it's an oracle network. And this then leads to the question, what is an oracle network and why do we even need these oracle networks? Well, for this we have to look at how blockchain networks currently function, and in particular the use of smart contracts on these blockchains. Now, smart contracts are pieces of code on the blockchain that will execute when certain conditions are met, and this provides full transparency and security to all parties involved that the contract will be executed and that no single entity can pull out or alter the terms of the deal last minute. So where does Chainlink fit in? Well, this all has to do with the built-in security of the blockchain, which is that blockchains themselves cannot pull data from external sources, they only have access to the data that's already on the ledger. It is part of the reason why blockchain is so secure. So this means that weather data, financial data, and information about sport matches or flights is inaccessible to the blockchain, which obviously severely limits the use of smart contracts, since all this information is part of everyday life. And when you go one step further and say, what if the blockchain had access to a real-world data source or oracle? How would you then know if that data source is accurate, and how would you be sure that no one could manipulate that data source to influence the outcome of the smart contracts on the blockchain? Even oracles with the best intentions can be compromised or make mistakes, and this is why you don't want a single data source but rather multiple oracles to verify the data. So these two steps of communicating with an external data source and guaranteeing data integrity is also known as the oracle problem, and this is where Chainlink comes in. Chainlink is a decentralized oracle network that allows smart contracts to access real-world data feeds, effectively making them hybrid smart contracts. These hybrid smart contracts can read and write data that is not on the blockchain, which opens the door for creating much more useful smart contracts and dApps that can be used in everyday life. As you can see here, the Chainlink Oracle network will collect information from multiple sources that are not on the blockchain, also known as off-chain, then perform the needed calculations, after which it will format this data in such a way that it's readable by the blockchain. This all happens in a secure environment using cryptographic techniques to ensure that the data is only accessible by those for whom it's intended, thereby guaranteeing the safety of using the Chainlink network. In addition to this, each smart contract is provided with a customized service from the Chainlink Oracle network, and this means that the performance of Chainlink with one specific smart contract does not affect the reliability or security of other smart contracts on the blockchain. This allows thousands if not millions of Oracle systems to run on the same blockchain without affecting the performance of other smart contracts. It allows for Chainlink to provide information from one blockchain to another for more complicated dApp development. So now that the purpose of the Chainlink network is clear, you might ask, where does the Link token fit in? Is it even necessary? Before we continue, please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Well, the Link token is used to compensate the operators of the oracles on the network. On a proof-of-work blockchain, you get rewarded for doing complex computations, and on a proof-of-stake blockchain, you get rewarded for staking your capital to guarantee the integrity of the staking node. With the Chainlink Oracle network, the same principle applies, since the node operators need to be incentivized to retrieve or provide the data that is requested by the smart contract. In addition to getting the information, the node operator also has to do off-chain computations, format the data so the blockchain can access it, and guarantee the uptime. So if a smart contract selects the Chainlink network for an off-chain data request, it will have to pay a certain amount of Link tokens to get the information. This amount will vary depending on the supply and demand of the data requested. Now this immediately opens the door to the question, is the Link token the best way to pay operators? To which I say that's a discussion for another time. But I will say that it's very likely that in the future, Oracle networks will change their payment form or even allow a multi-currency payment system. It will all depend on how the use of Oracle networks will continue to develop. This was What is Chainlink? Please like and subscribe to the channel for more videos.